A Little Priest song. So we have Little Priest Week officially kicking off, and our very own Little Priest Tribal College will be doing some good things. Welcome to Winnebago Talks, folks. My name is Garan Coons. I am the host of Winnebago Talks, and this is our, oh man, where we at? Let's see here. Probably the 27th episode. So as Willie would help us out, that's a quarter plus what, 3 pennies?
2 pennies if it's
okay. My counting is off here today. So let's see. Let's welcome our other guest here. We are, I should say, co-host. Go for it.
Mic check.
Try it again.
Mic check. Can you guys hear me?
One more time.
Mic check.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
All right, we're in the house, guys.
Yeah, we are in the house.
Hi, NCPA everybody. I am Jordana Bass. I am your Winnebago Indian news editor, and at some point here I would like to introduce myself in Ho Chunk, so that's a goal of mine.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. That's very awesome. And we also have
Hi NCPA, Bethani Redhorn, the Winnebago Communications Office Manager.
What's up, Bethany? And you had a late night last night.
I did, yeah.
How did it go?
I think it went really great. Whenever I went over to see Jordana, they had the fire pit going, and I didn't know that it was all going to be in like one location.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of think like it would be, but we didn't know if it would be at the big screen or not. But it was, and it was really a good turnout.
Good.
There was a lot of people there.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it. We have our special guest. Come on up here, JR. And we have a good episode in store for you folks today. Because it is somebody's birthday episode, right?
Here we go. Here we go.
National holiday in Winnebago, isn't it? I'm not going to say anything, but I can't wait for the surprise that you guys are going to give me during this episode. I just can't wait. So if you want to see what the surprise is, wait till the end of the episode and we'll do that, right?
Yep. Okay.
Anyways, we have, go ahead and get your headphones on, gentlemen, and I'll get you guys kind of mic'd up here. We do have a special report by the Winnebago Indian News. Jordana, I'm going to have you help me out here.
Okay.
And Bethany has to do a couple of things here, so they're going to help. You're going to have to help me be a co-host with these two gentlemen here. And let's start on over here. Go ahead and pull that microphone closer to you. There you go. And give us a 1, 2. Give us your rap introduction. No, I'm just playing.
1, 2, test 1, 2.
Okay, that's why we do the testing here. Let's see. Try it again.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Okay. One more time. Try it now.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Okay, that one there. Excuse me, guys. This is
Got some new mics.
got some new mics. Yeah, so we're kind of trying to break them in here. Okay. Try it again, JR.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Okay, I think I got you coming in. Try it now.
Test 1, 2.
There you
test
are.
1,
Hey,
2.
there you go. Yeah, you just got to get closer up to the mic.
All right, my bad.
Yeah.
Speaking your Dago voice.
Yeah, they go. You just kind of get after us. Now, go ahead and give us your introduction.
Don't be acting up then. No, my name is Daryl LaPointe Jr. Everybody knows me as JR. I'm the director up at the Youth Crisis Intervention Center and Youth Shelter.
Thank you for being on here. We had Donna on a couple times, and appreciate you. You have a good event that we're going to be discussing here, and make sure that for those tuning in, go ahead and comment if you plan on going to this weekend's event that's going to be happening. But none other, we have another guest with us as well. Go ahead.
Check. Mic check. 1, 2.
That's the Dago voice.
Mic check. 1, 2.
I think
Mic check. 1.
There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead for it. Go for it.
Good morning, y'all. This is Cooney Dave.
What do you do, Kuna Dave?
I'm an office person over at YCIC since about December, but I kind of help out with some of the cultural stuff and things like that. So I've been assisting JR with this awesome event this weekend.
All right. And so go ahead and tell us about the awesome event.
So this Saturday from 1 to 9, we're going to be having a mental health and wellness powwow. It's going to be located at the bingo hall out at Winnebago. So it really started. I'll just get into it real quick.
Yeah.
It really started from the just things we've been seeing over the pandemic and honestly pre-pandemic. We've had a lot of relatives that are struggling. Our young ones, our families, struggling with just mental health, wellness, and a lot of different things. So we wanted to do something about it. So we had this idea on our team, and it really kind of blossomed into something good. So hopefully everybody who's listening, you can come out and check it out. Like I said, it's going to be Saturday from 1 o'clock to 9. I know the OU game's going to be on, but after the past few games, I don't have too much to worry about.
We got to talk about that too, man. But anyways, Kuna Dave, I know planning this and stuff, kind of tell people why it's kind of important to go back to the drum and, some dancing and some singing, and who do you have for our staff?
For the spiritualists, we always talk about the circle.
Yeah.
As we're brought up in life, and whether it's sitting around the fireplaces or around this big drum, it's all a healing ceremony for people, and in more than one way, whether it's physical, mental, and things like that. So with this mental health and wellness powwow, what we're going to touch on is a real serious subject across Indian country. Our number is real small, is the red race, and to be have this problem with suicide in our communities, it's really difficult. So we're trying to bring awareness that there's people out there that are caring and helping and here for us, and so the staff that we kind of came up with they kind of had a situation in our round, someone that might have took their life, so we try to use them in a good way, because they could put more into it than just being there. It'd be more meaningful, and even healing for them also. So we have the Omahas and the Santee coming in. Since we're right here in Nebraska, we tried to get the 3 tribes all involved in it. So we have different help from all the communities. We have Mr. Les Painter and Red Wing Thomas coming in as our speakers.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of talking around the area for their people and things like that. So we wanted to utilize them, up and coming MCs, and they kind of know the ways and things like that.
Definitely.
Share some stories. And then for our head dancers, we got Mr. Scott Aldridge Sr. and Shelby Webster, and they had an episode like that, so we thought it'd be good for them, that healing part, that they're helping us out, and we're trying to help them get over what they went through.
Yeah.
Things like that. And then Pete Snowball, he's going to be our arena director, and he's been around someone that did that and worked right along. We all had a good brother friend in Vern Smith, and a lot of these people here worked with him or knew him, played basketball with him in one way or the other. So I was really, really glad, that all these people wanted to, more than willing, and they shared their story right away on trying to help and get over this. And then our local drum groups, we have OC's drum group, New Breed. And then from Santee, we have Mazakute, Kaylin Strickland, and Omaha Standing Eagle, Mr. Mitch Sheridan, going to come up. And then been getting some emails this week about other drums wanting to set up, and other drums that want to come over, dancers. It's open thing, and we're going to have day pay for drummers and singers. So we're really looking forward to this, and we hope it flourishes.
Definitely. And Winnebago, the venue, it's not going to be in I remember one time they had a round dance and it was in that little conference room. You guys are going to be in the bingo hall, right?
Yes, we're going to be in the bingo hall, just like where they had the last Bear Moon powwow. And
yeah, so that's hopefully we get a good turnout. Come on out. It's going to be a beautiful celebration. Not only that, but do you guys have your explanation? Because there's going to be a lot of chokas and a lot of gagas are going to be mad because bingo's going to probably be canceled, right? No. Hey, I think, Winnebago is a great venue. We had the last Bear Moon celebration there. Hopefully, because you guys are coming out of the pandemic, the last Bear Moon celebration will kick back up as well. But because of the pandemic, they haven't had it in the last couple of years and stuff. But JR, I know that you have a lot of events. September is, what is it, kind of Mental Health Awareness Month and Suicide Prevention Month? Is that kind of the September and some of the other things that YCIC has going on? Can you kind of elaborate on those?
So, like I heard some notes earlier. This past week, we had our Indian corn harvest. Yeah. So we've been doing that over the past few years with our kids at the youth shelter and the YCIC. So
we see you guys right across. You guys are our neighbors right there. And I know that one day I walked out and one of the things about corn harvest, I know it's a lot of hard work and everything, but the kids really get into it. And the stories that are shared at that certain part when the fire comes and everything, I think that's very special that our kids get to experience that. Bethany shared her story when she was growing up, and I know that that's very important for us as Winnebago people and everything too. So yeah, so corn harvest, what else?
Let's see here. So Thursday we have our color run. We have a tribal opioid response, one of our SAMHSA grants, so we have a color run going on out at the Land of Wellness. That is starts at 2.
Okay.
And let's see here. Friday's homecoming.
Bring up their Facebook page, YCIC's Facebook page, and is there opportunity to display that, or we don't have that monitored? Do you know?
We don't have the
Okay.
Start hollering real loud. We don't have the monitor, but
could you capture that and put it into the OBS and?
Yeah, for the color run.
Yeah, and the color run as well as the powwow. For those that don't know and stuff, we have a lot of people that tune in, and we're also over the airwaves, and we got a lot of people, especially my relatives to the south, my Hispanic relatives. They always say, "Hey, we hear you," and up there in South Sioux City and stuff. So just kind of want to send them that shout out. But if they have an opportunity, and if they're listening, come on down Saturday, September 17th. Very important day for Winnebago community and everything. So color run. What is a color run?
Color run. So we got a bunch of white T-shirts, plain white T-shirts, and we're gonna have stations all around the Land of Wellness, the big loop.
Yeah.
And then for every station, I think we start out spray you down with water, and then you just do the loop, walk around the loop, and then we have different stations. Throw some color on you. Try not to get in your face. But yeah, something fun, something different. We did one earlier in the year.
Okay.
Had a pretty good turnout. We had a couple of comedians come out, and they had their story too. I think you even had them on the show for a little bit.
They tore into Bethany. It was crazy and stuff. But I asked them. I said, "Hey, what do you know about Winnebago?" And they're both like, "The RV." Those guys are crazy though. What was it? Ernie and the other guy, James.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so we have a couple other speakers that are coming for the powwow too. So that part of the powwow is sponsored by the Winnebago Tribe, TC. Gave us a budget to be able to work with, but also our Garrett Lee Smith SAMHSA Award. Now I'm going to be bringing in a couple suicide prevention speakers, Josh Stewart and Lakota Beatty. They both have lived experience. We want them to be able to share their story.
Yeah.
Both of them you can YouTube them, and especially Lakota. Lakota's a D1 basketball player.
Wow.
Josh is a high school basketball player and our coach in Montana. Has a couple of state championships. So yeah, just knowing, I mean, the Winnebago, we've got a lot of basketball players around here. I think they'd really be able to connect. Mm-hmm. Didn't really know Josh was a basketball player until after we got to meet him and things. It was recommended that we have a conversation with him, that he has a good story and things like that. So we're really looking forward to inviting them to the powwow and hearing them talk, hearing them speak, kind of share some stories and encouragement and their life experiences.
That's awesome. One of the things that we wanted to make mention too is with our youth, it's very important. Youth Crisis Intervention Center. suicide. And I know that we don't like to talk about it because we're always going to think that it's going to happen and it affects us and stuff. But in order to make awareness, there's stories out there and there's people, if anybody, especially our youth, and I don't know if you handle or help with the adults and stuff, but if they need some help, where can they go? I think Donna is one of the resources, and are you folks kind of, because they say, well, call this national hotline and stuff, but I don't think we're if we're in crisis and stuff, we don't want to call like an automated machine and stuff. I never called it before, but you know what I mean? They always kind of say, well, just call this number and they'll take care of you. But does it really happen like that? You know what I mean? And I hate to kind of put you guys on the spot, but maybe kind of share with our listeners and stuff some of the things that they can do if they know somebody or if somebody's in crisis.
I mean, it depends on your level of crisis.
Okay.
So if you or one of your relatives is experiencing some extreme crisis situation, best thing might be to call the PD to be able to get some help, or go right down to the hospital. Okay. So that way they can assess what's going on. Now if there's some the tier down a little lower level, where maybe there's thoughts of ideation and things like that. So Donna is one of our suicide prevention specialists. Okay. So we have 3 different prevention specialists for substance abuse, suicide, and then for delinquency. Okay. So we have multiple programs within the YCIC, but if you know of a family member who is struggling, I mean, we in our centralized intake unit. So the YCIC was developed for the juvenile justice system, because a lot of the kids that were getting in trouble just go either detention or go home. So now that we have the YCIC, they can come into our centralized intake unit, be a centralized place for us to be able to figure out what's going on. It can be a landing zone for the PD to bring a kid up. We do screenings, we do a substance abuse, mental health, suicide, trauma, and a cultural identity scale. So we can figure out what's going on with the kid. If we can get them to kind of stabilize a little bit, because later on in the process, the way we have it now in our juvenile justice system, now we can start getting help a lot sooner. Right. Within 72 hours, kids have to see a judge if you're detained. So within 72 hours, we already have a recommendation for the judge. Hey, this kid either needs further assessment or they don't need further assessment, and we can provide some other support services at the YCIC. And we have a few different programs. We have a Generation Red Road program. It's a youth resiliency intervention program. We have a traditional wellness court. Now we have a few different programs that we can get our kids involved with, on top of probation, diversion, things like that. So we have a lot of different services that we offer at the YCIC. But you don't need to get in trouble to get help from us.
I was just going to ask that.
So we have an assessment unit. So we have therapists, we have counselors. So if your child is struggling in some different areas and you want to use it as a prevention tool, then you can come up. We can get an appointment set up. We can get an assessment evaluation. So that way we have a good idea of what's going on. So we got about 5 mental health professionals on staff that can help out. So you don't have to get in trouble to come up. And we're trying to get away from that stigma of that's where the naughty guys go. No, and anybody can come up and receive our services.
Right.
Right before the pandemic started, we inherited the shelter. So now the YCIC and the youth shelter are operating. I don't want to say as one. There's 2 separate programs, but our staffing is one, and the motto behind the YCIC is really transitioning over to the youth shelter. And we try to be as trauma informed as we can, because the youth shelter only works with kids in the child welfare system. So a lot of the kids that families are struggling, maybe they get removed. We're supposed to be a safe place for them to be able to land temporarily until we can find another relative or something like that. And all of those kids and families can receive services on the YCIC side as well in our assessment unit. So yeah, it really is a nice blend of the programs, and we're still working things out because they're 2 major programs, bringing them together, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still working our way through there.
Good job. And then I know that Kunu Dave here, me and Kuna Dave used to fancy dance at Winnebago Powwow, and he used to be a fancy dancer, and then he became a singer, and then I know that you do some of the weddings. I think last time I probably seen you was doing Nan's wedding, and you know, kind of officiating that, and did a good job. And so I know that also I seen you traveling around with the world famous Southern Boys. And, we went up to Prairie Island, and those guys were singing. Would you guys get second or first or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Second.
Yeah. So, but kind of maybe for those people, the importance of the drum, and far as you know, what it's like to sing. And I don't know if you guys have an opportunity to take the young guys to maybe go see a drum or kind of sit down and things like that. But the importance of the drum, I guess I should say.
I talk to the boys like that are within the shelter. You know, it's kind of outside my job, but we're all here to help our youth in one way or another.
Yeah.
You know, and then me on the cultural side, what little bit I know, I try to share with them, and I got the ability to I was asked to help make a drumstick with some of the boys, and then I got to talk to them about male stuff, that some things that just the boys do, and then other things that just the girls do, and I got to share with them the story of the creation story about the drum, and then we was even out at the Veterans Park, and I got to ask them about our powwow, if they knew how it became this powwow, and how we say it's the oldest one in Turtle Island. So I got to share those kind of stories with them, and they were all interested. And then like a couple days later, I asked them about some questions about the stories I told, and they really remembered it. So it was really nice, you know. They have a willingness to learn. You know, we as adults, as uncles, as dads, we just got to take a little time out and share those things with them, you know, because they are paying attention and they are willing.
Definitely. I remember the Boys and Girls Club now, but it used to be the youth center. And
YDC.
Yeah, YDC. We used to go down there and bring out the drum, and us boys used to kind of sit around and stuff. I still remember that to this day. You know, I was probably 7 or 8, but they would come around and kind of explain the songs, and it was like Matt Jr. and Chris Grislick and Matt Sr., Larry Pear, all those guys used to come down and help us out. Horn Toad, everybody. You probably are down there too as well, you know what I mean? But yeah, and I think for the ladies as well, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of resources out there. Grandma Sarah Snake, you know what I mean? She does a good job of kind of providing that guidance. JR, I know that you know, you guys are right across the road here from the studio and stuff. So we appreciate you guys coming over. And any shout outs, anything else that Jordana, you have any questions for these guys? Bethany, anybody?
Not right now. I learned a lot in that little bit of time. So thank you guys for coming over.
Yeah, for sure. Shout outs.
Thanks for having us. No, I just huge welcome to anybody and everybody who want to come out to the powwow.
Okay.
It's supposed to be for the relatives. So
all right.
So yeah, if you can hear this, Saturday, 1:00 at Winnebago.
Okay, so you probably find me in the slot machines, but I'll try to. No, actually, I'm leaving town because it is what?
No, I'm just kidding. Let them hang in.
It's
birthday month boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Anyways, any shout outs?
No, just come on over to Winnebago this weekend if you ain't got nothing to do, because hate to say it, but kind of ain't worth watching Nebraska.
Yeah, that was the thing to do, man. I was just like, man, we had a request to show the big screen and stuff, but did you guys watch that last game? Oh my goodness,
part of it.
Oh my, I mean, this is like, you know, I don't
Clenched
know.
fists.
Yeah. But there's still 9 games to go, and it might be a long day for Nebraska on Saturday. So we'll
With a
see
new coach.
Yeah, I'll say, did they get a new coach?
Well, they got an interim coach. They fired.
Interim.
Yeah, they fired. So pay attention now, because that could be one of our questions. Anyways, thank you guys.
Yep.
Yep. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
JR and Kuna Dave, man. Appreciate you guys coming over. Come on over anytime, man. You guys have color runs, anything next week, give us the follow-up and stuff. People probably want to know. Oh, I think we had a question. Do you know if it's going to be live stream?
We were trying to work on that, but I heard there's another event. I think there's a ball game going on
A
Saturday.
volleyball,
Yeah.
And so like I just wanted to add in there. So I wanted to try to make it work. Me and Garan were having conversations about that. And so like with the equipment that we have, I would like, because I'm going to be covering the volleyball game, and that's on Saturday as well. But I wanted to try to like be as helpful and live stream the powwow. So, I mean, if you guys still want to try to...
Wait, we might be able to make this happen. Little Priest is here, and you guys have live stream equipment. Do you know if we can, maybe that's something that you guys can work on, YCIC and Little Priest, to bring that...
We can talk with Bryce.
Yeah, let's get some collaboration going here. And then what we could
That'd be
do
awesome.
is we'll turn over that music to the radio station and stuff if we get that live stream up and going. So let's do it, man.
Nice.
That'd be awesome. So collaboration as we go along here today. So thanks, JR.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
So should I remind everybody on Thursday that we have our All Request Live, and we do have the top 5 up, so go vote for that, because this guy over here thinks I'm rigging the game.
Yeah, it's just like,
Just
I can't
because
believe
the
it won.
weekend, all my other EXO lovers,
I went back.
they rallied together with me.
I went back and looked at the votes and stuff. There was only 2 votes, but I think one was probably from somebody here, and then the other one's probably from Mackie. No, but Earth, Wind, and Fire, not Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I fixed it, but I was like, did you like that subliminal predictions?
I
was typing real fast.
That time in September. Okay, we're going to get into our special report. Go ahead and give us our
Yes.
introduction to the special report. Stand by, everybody.
All right, guys. So we have a special report for you. One of them is a recent event from the Winnebago Public Health Department. They entered their first phase of accreditation about 2 weeks ago now. So that will be our first story. And for the second story, this is a 2-part one. This is from the Harvest Celebration was it last week?
Yeah.
Last week. So
Last
that's
Wednesday.
Yep, that's the video for today, and if Bet wants to cue that one up.
All right.
When you get called in, and then all those little things can kind of play a big role in trying to move the tribe forward.
The Winnebago Public Health Department is a phenomenal organization, and we are very lucky that our community has the Public Health Department and all of the services that it provides to our community. I see the passion and the commitment and the dedication of all of our staff.
And so I'm so proud of all of the work that you've done, and of course the staff. But truly the passion that you all show up every day through the pandemic really demonstrated what a great and phenomenal team that we have. And so we appreciate all the services that we have, and our sisters, the 12 Planned Parenthood hospitals. All right.
We just really wanted to mark the celebration of getting to this phase. And so last year in September, we submitted our application to the Public Health Accreditation Board. And so we felt at that time we were ready to start really gathering all of our documents and working on them. And so we submitted, we were accepted, and then we have 1 year from that date, which was November of this year, in order to get all of the hundreds of documents. There's probably over 300 documents that we put together and uploaded to EFAB just a few minutes ago. But it's really monumentous. So now that we submitted the button, so the Public Health Accreditation Board is going to look at all of our documents, and it's called like a pre-site visit, and then they'll review them, see if there's anything missing, and then we'll fix it. And then the next phase will be the actual site visit. And then be able to really see the community and what we do, and interview community partners, the leadership, so both the Tribal Council and the Board of Directors for WCHS. After that, we get another, hopefully not, but maybe a corrective action plan of things that we need to correct. And then we submit that, and then hopefully all goes well, we'll be accredited. The timeline, I can't tell you, because I really, COVID really put them behind too. So, I mean, it could be this year, but it could be next year. That shows that we have met that highest standard that we could for public health accreditation, and that we match anyone in the country, you know, that, and shows really demonstrates that Winnebago is a remarkable department.
Came together to put on an evening of dancing, sharing in the meal, as well as some stories.
These were donated from Little Priest, and these blankets came from, I was given them by Blue from Ho Chunk Renaissance, and I think he got them. Some of the stuff is from Hey Hey Girl. We've got, so these are indigenous company woodland style blankets from the Angel Decor Museum. And then we've got some old style Ho Chunk applique baskets too.
Let's make sure that we all have that good thought and feeling of being a community here in the Winnebago community. And Princess is doing an excellent job. Okay, so you had
first danced, and she went out there in a waje, a dress, traditional dress, and she did one dance, and she came back and she seen another princess with a crown, and she says, "Dad, how do I become that? I want to be a princess." So I told her, I said, "You gotta work hard at it and learn the language," and she did just that. We're going to start with the special here, and ask the judges to come out, and the contestants as well.
All right, very nice special report. I always love seeing those and kind of appreciate everybody from the health department all the way to the harvest celebration and everything in between, man. So a lot of good things happening in Winnebago. And Jordana, you got an episode or an issue coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, and reminder, today is the deadline, you guys, at 4 o'clock. If you can email your content to Tyler, her email is tyler.snake@winnebagotribe.com. So yeah, and then the issue will be out on Saturday, so check your mailboxes, or on Friday they'll be out in your Pony Express stores.
Oh, there you go. All right, Jordana, we're gonna have you do the answer is. Now, right. Tyler won last week, so that's gonna be happening after we get done with our guest here. So we're gonna get into our next guest, guys. And we'll see you soon here, Jordana.
All right, have fun.
And the very special birthday surprise too. So. I'm so surprised. No.
I'm nervous.
Okay, Jordana, go give us the introduction to our next guest.
Jordana?
Bethany.
No, let me let me impersonate her. So we are joined by the none other than DJ Macatat.
Oh, okay.
But he's here as he's wearing a different hat today.
Yep.
And I will let him introduce himself.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning. I work with the Nebraska College Preparatory Academy, the NCPA program. a lot of people kind of get confused with that. That's actually the academy program at Winnebago Public School. So that's that, opportunity for students that do the academy, go to UNL, get that kind of full ride. So like Bethany said, that was my second hat that I wear, aside from Morningstar. And just here to kind of promote an event that we're having tonight.
And you got a third hat. You're a DJ too. When you on Our Request Live, right?
Yeah. So he still has yet to come back, but.
And the fourth hat is the weekend goer concert guy.
The ad event.
Weekend's hype man.
Anyway, so you have an event coming up, right?
Yeah. So we have an event tonight. It's the back to school.
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Okay. So it's the back to school event, and we have this each year for the parents and students to come in. It's kind of like an open house, and just to kind of get our parents back into update our parents on like what's going on and the new kind of criteria, expectations, and things like that. And so that's what we're having tonight. Is we at the public school and the East Side Gym, or the practice gym, I think they call it, starting at 5 to 6:30. We'll be serving a lunch or a dinner, and then we'll be having kind of like booths set up for the parents to come through and just get information. And it's really important that they come. It's kind of a mandatory thing for parents. It's one of the requirements when they sign that contract to become an academy student, is they need to come to a certain amount of I don't say social events, but events we have on. And so this is just kind of our attempt just to kind of remind parents and students that they need to come, not only to get updated on several items, but also that there are some important documentation that they need to be signed in order to remain in the academy. So it's really important that they come and get that information completed.
When you went to school, was you in the dorms?
I never stayed in the dorms.
You never did? Mm-mm. Okay. So I'm gonna share my story when I was in the dorms. I stayed at Nyhart Hall over at W.I.N State College. And then one year, something happened to the RA that was on our floor. And I remember that they call them resident assistants. And then there's the RD, resident director. And one year, when I came back for my sophomore year, some of my funding fell out. And I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen and stuff. And then they say, hey, why don't you just be a RA? You get free board, you get free meals and stuff. You get the big meal plan. So I was like, oh my goodness. And then you get a stipend on top of that. So I became an RA. But to be an RA, you had to have 2 socials and 1 educational. And I thought that was very important. So, of course, me being from Winnebago, I brought some Winnebago dancers over here for my guys on my floor and stuff. And I had a guy from Africa. Then there was some guys out way west and stuff. And they lived in a border town, I think, right next to Pine Ridge. And he never experienced Native American culture. He just always heard about white clay and the bad stuff. And it really kind of changed the trajectory of his life and stuff, as far as his perception of Native Americans. So I really like the fact that you're requiring the parents to come to these educationals, because those benefit. And you never know, like from the academy to the students to the parents, what they might learn. So I think it's very beneficial, and it's very important that we try to support our students. What is it? How long has the academy been going on?
I want to say, if I remember right, the number 14 sticks in my head for some reason. But
and those students are starting to get their college degrees now.
Yeah. So our first cohort, or I think first and second cohort, is actually in college right now at UNL.
Wow.
Yeah.
And UNL is nothing to slough off on about and stuff. That's a prestigious. Unfortunately, I didn't make it into UNL. My math wasn't up to par. But W.I.N State offered a great. You know what I mean? They welcomed me with. I'm proud to say that I run into people that wear Wildcat WC gear and stuff, and I'm always like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? So it's really cool. We kind of have that bond and stuff. And I'm sure with the Huskers and all that. How do you feel about that?
I'm not really a big football fan, but I'm still a Husker fan.
Goodness. Yeah, there you go. So yeah.
Give me an education, so I have to say that.
But yeah, and then so that's tonight, and appreciate you coming out. On the other side, put your other hat on. Okay. I know it's Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and everything, and how's things going down there?
So as Morningstar, we're doing pretty.
Morningstar Counseling, yes.
Yeah, right. Morningstar Counseling, we're doing pretty good, and yeah, so September is the Suicide Awareness Month, Prevention Month, and we kind of have a few things in the works right now.
Yeah.
But, I kind of liked how you asked JR earlier, how like, well, if they're in crisis or if they're having these feelings, like how does that work? And, you know, what do we do? And I liked his answer. It just really depends on the level of the crisis, you know. And I want to encourage people that, you know, when they're feeling that way, they can reach out to Morningstar as well and set up an appointment or anything like that and just receive some counseling. And I wouldn't worry about, you know, any cost or anything. We'll try to make it work. Well, we do make it work, but you know, suicide ideation, it's important to talk about it. And I'm glad you said that too, Garan, with you know, it's an uncomfortable subject, you know, because some of us, you know, have people that, you know, lost their lives to that. But that's the thing that we go through in our training is we need to talk about it. And there's ways to talk about it. And so at Morningstar, we actually go through this training, the youth mental health training, and that's one of the things they focus on is suicide ideation and how do you reach out to a student, how do you talk about that. So our staff's trained and trained to see those signs and what to do and things like that. But I encourage those that are like feeling that way, just reach out to Morningstar. We're really confidential. We have providers on standby. We make it happen, and we're here to help you. And there's no such thing. There's nothing wrong with asking help, you know. And we're noticing that with our male relatives too. It's a little bit harder for them to ask that help because they might not traditionally, you know, feel okay to be doing that, or like they were taught that's not what a man's supposed to do. But everybody has mental health, you know, and it's important to keep that in, healthy and keep that in check. Definitely.
Thank you for those words, Mackie. Anything else that you want to make mention or shout outs or anything like that?
A happy birthday to you.
Yeah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
And I just want to add, he's a birthday month celebrity too.
That's right. That is right.
We always twins.
So we're having a Big Voice Radio tomorrow for my birthday.
Your birthday's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Awesome. And wow, what do we have planned?
So where are we eating for lunch?
So no. It's a good one though. Birthday guys.
Thank you.
Yes, and you have to tune into ARL this week for sure. It's going to be the biggest ARL ever we had because that birthday shout out section at noon, that's going to be huge and stuff. So make sure you tune in. But yeah, thanks, Mackie, for coming in and keep us updated and hope your event goes well tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, and I did get the flyer. I kind of panned it and let them take a look at it, but we can get that uploaded onto our page as well.
Okay.
I didn't see it. I was trying to look around for it, but I just went and grabbed the one that you sent me.
Yeah. So, yeah, appreciate that.
Thank
you. All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks, come back.
We'll see.
All right. So the background music that I've been playing this week is Little Priest songs. So here's another one. They say he has a lot of songs and stuff, so none other, we like to invite Little Priest Tribal College to come on up here. Come on up, ladies. I can listen to these songs all day.
I love it. It gives a real good feeling.
Yeah.
And I just want to go to powwow now.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm going to go to that powwow this weekend. So.
Yeah. Are you going to
Someone's got me for that event. No, I'm just
After
kidding.
you do the volleyball?
After the volleyball, yeah. I'm going to go check it out.
All right. We have our guest here. And go ahead and give us your guys' introduction.
I'm Maisel Earth Carnes, and I'm a Learning Lab Specialist
Welcome.
with Student Services.
All right.
I'm Trisha Wagner.
One second. Sorry. I apologize. Here, go ahead and try it again.
I'm Trisha Wagner. I'm the Director of Student Services.
Trisha, try it one more time. Sorry about that.
Okay. My name is Trisha Wagner, and I'm the Director of Student Services.
Okay. Apologize for that, guys. We are trying to debut our new microphones here, so I think they were really cool. We got them ordered. We got them up and going and everything, but I'm still learning them, so I apologize for that. But Trisha and Maisel, what do we got going on at Little Priest Tribal College?
We have the Chief Little Priest Week.
Chief Little Priest Week.
Yeah, we had a presentation yesterday, and then today we're going to have the Blood Memory documentary, and then Nothing Wednesday, and then on Thursday is the moccasin game, and then Friday we'll have a traditional meal.
Yeah.
And then the traditional meal is unfortunately for the staff, faculty, and students only.
Okay. Well, are we invited? No.
What time is the event today supposed to kick off?
So all of the events are from 12 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
So after this.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah, that is very awesome. So Little Priest, why do you guys do Chief Little Priest Week?
Well, this week, it always kicks off the week of September, whenever September 12th falls, just because of his passing. So then that's a week that we honor and have events that are going on. And also, too, it's kind of a time as well for staff as that maybe aren't familiar with the Native culture. It's kind of an opportunity for them to learn as well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice, too, because we get to gather with the students. So yesterday, we had John Snowball up there, so we appreciate him coming and taking his time just to come and talk about the Chief Little Priest story. And it was nice because we had a lot of students, a lot of faculty, staff all gathered together in the auditorium. So it's just nice for us all to be together. And it's another way, too, for us to come together, get to know each other more. So.
All righty. And we appreciate you guys thinking of that. I know your guys' mission statement. Can you guys kind of tell about that?
Yeah, so be strong and educate my children. So like John talked about yesterday too, of course, education, it's all levels. And he even talked too, just education with even the culture and knowing, where Native Americans come from and just keeping that tradition alive. So when you think like us, we're the college, that's kind of a more formal, even the high school, elementary level, but then also too, he talked about that education and keeping the culture strong and knowing the culture. So
in your program, what do you do?
I help out with students. We started a new thing where we give out snacks to the students and the faculty and staff. So I pretty much update all that for them.
Okay.
And then I keep the learning lab open. I try to make any possible accommodations that I can for the students. I've helped some of them tutored already, and I set up tutoring times for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's pretty much what I do.
A very important job.
Yeah.
I remember going to Wayne State College, and I had the toughest time trying to get some help for my paper. And I would always get D's on this paper. She said, go see a tutor.
Yeah.
I did, and the next thing I know, it must have been the help in my writing style or whatnot, but I start getting A's and B's. It really makes a difference, and reach out for a tutor because that's a night and day difference. The instructors will notice as well.
Yeah.
How's it going up there?
Things are good. We've been very busy. We have our record enrollment of Little Priest history too. Yeah. And so we do see that a lot more now. People are coming in, so it's kind of like it was feeling more like it did before COVID. People are coming in. There's a lot of people asking for help too and support, whether it comes to tutors. And there's all sorts of levels of support that we can give. But it's just, we were talking about it at orientation, it's just a different feel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are just coming in and just not even doing homework, just they come hang out in student services.
Come visit, chill in between.
Yeah, yep.
So one of the things that we want to make mention too is we appreciate you and we thank you for Little Priest Tribal College. You guys came out to the Harvest Celebration early, and did you guys happen to visit any of the booths or play any of the games or?
We played the games. I think we played Kazu.
Did you win? No, I'm just
I won.
She did
there you
win.
go. All right. She's on a winning team.
And then some of us stayed for the meal because it was around the time we were leaving.
What did you have?
I had the corn soup, fried bread, wojapi,
Man, it was,
and a squash.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I mean, that was a delicious soup and fried bread. But they had 3 soups to choose from. We always kind of talk about food here because we make ourselves hungry because it's coming about that hour. But yeah, thank you, Little Priest. I know the Cassie and crew. I think you guys have maybe a cultural program or whatnot that helps out, and you guys helped sponsored some of the what do they call it? Day money for all the dancers and participants and the singers. So thank you, Little Priest, for doing that on behalf of the Harvest Celebration. Kind of rolling right into Little Priest, Chief Little Priest Week. I like it. So for sure. Recap once again for the public. When can we come up there?
So today we have Blood Memory. So that's the documentary is Sandy Whitehawk.
Okay, starting at what time?
At 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's go. We're going to try to make it up there.
Okay.
All right. And then what else do we got Thursday?
And then
Thursday's the moccasin game. So you can come and play or learn how to do the moccasin game.
Okay. All righty.
And then Friday at noon, we'll have a traditional meal for everyone.
for everyone.
Yeah, just see me in there. I'm
the
a
staff,
sneak in there.
faculty, and student.
You guys are doing that because it's my birthday on Friday. No.
I'm gonna have on my little priest mask, make it seem like I'm blended in.
Grab
But
a shirt.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, one of the things I wanted to share with our viewers as well, we appreciate all the comments and everybody that's tuning in. And one of the things that they always make mention is Chief Little Priest. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Yes.
And for you guys to carry on that message, that's a very important message. You know, Jim Snow was the one that told me, always say that story in the morning time. And then also Saturday after grand entry, make sure you tell the Chief Little Priest story, because that story needs to continue on. Because for him and the Company A volunteers to go out there and do that on behalf of, he wanted freedom, you know what I mean? But he was forced to hand to go out and do that. And so that's very important. And I appreciate you guys coming in and telling us about Chief Little Priest Week. Any other questions? Any shout outs? Anything else that you guys want to make mention?
I would just say thanks to our Ho-Chunk task force, because they're the ones who really make this happen.
Yeah.
They couldn't come here to speak today, so we came to speak on behalf for them. So, but they really help get all the events going this week. So Cassie, Kitchian, Manoj, and there's a few others. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So shout out to Manoj
are you going to be
Cass.
on a moccasin game team tomorrow?
I'm sure we'll find.
For some reason, I got the feeling she's going to be a good hider. I just got that feeling and stuff. She's probably going to be a good hider, so make sure she's on your team. But thank you guys.
Thanks, ladies.
Well, thank you.
All righty. Very nice, very nice. Chief Little Priest Week at Little Priest Tribal College.
Yes.
And to discuss some of that, we're going to welcome in Angel Decora.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then we have The Answer Is. I got some good questions.
Dun, dun, dun.
I got some good questions.
I've been studying up, man. I've been watching just a little of everything.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, and we are going to discuss. Go for it. Give us your introduction.
Sure. So my name is Ben Crawford. If you haven't met me, I work at the Angel Decora Museum. Sunshine's not feeling well today, so I am here. We'll see what happens if I'm here for trivia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I work at the Angel Decora Museum as the curator, so I kind of look after the stuff. Get to give tours to folks, work on the social media.
You have the fun job.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's a very fun job. I get to do a lot of different stuff. We get to travel sometimes, go to Wisconsin, go to other places. So I'm just extremely lucky.
So we give you this time here to talk about this day in history or some of the things, you know. One of the things I asked Sunshine is like, can maybe tell us about Chief Little Priest a little bit more in depth? And are you prepared to talk about that? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I figured, like you said, it's only fitting to talk about Chief Little Priest during Chief Little Priest Week. And how I've come to learn about Chief Little Priest as a non-native person is through what people have told me. Whether that's in a presentation in previous Little Priest years, through what Felix White was recorded teaching about him, which you can find on our YouTube page, the Angel Decora Museum and Research Center. 8 hours of footage, and I think it's on video 2 and 3 where Felix talks about Chief Little Priest, as well as written and online sources about Little Priest. So there's a bunch of different sources coming about Little Priest. But what we do know about him is that he was born, roughly in the late 1820s, and
they don't have an actual birthday on him, do they?
Well, we have 1829. Felix White said maybe 1827 or 1828. But what is big about what's happening when Little Priest is born is that the tribe is living in a post-apocalyptic world. So if you've seen Walking Dead, right, it's like that, except maybe 200 years in the future, right? Because in the really about 200 years before Little Priest was born is when Euro-Americans, people like me, started coming to America, and smallpox devastated all the tribes, right? So living back then would be like walking past New York City with it just empty, right? Because they were big, huge villages in Wisconsin. They talk about, the village that you didn't know what was happening on the other end because it was huge, right? And then there's this these huge changes from the fur trade and diseases and Euro-Americans. So they're living in a post-apocalyptic world. And so they're dealing with the changes, but they're also living a more traditional life too. So when Little Priest is growing up, the way he's being educated is very different from kids these days. Not to sound like an old man, right? But
what are the kids listening to these days?
Yeah, exactly. But so when he's growing up, of course, he's being raised by his degas and his aunts and uncles, and he's living in Wisconsin during this time too. This is just before the Ho-Chunks are being taken out of Wisconsin. And so he's living a pretty traditional life. He's learning how to hunt from an early age. He's playing games. What I've heard is that, from one source, that Ho-Chunk kids, you would wake up in the morning and your grandpa would already be, your Choka would already be talking to you and teaching you lessons. And he would just talk and talk and talk and talk. And you'd absorb some of that right then, and then maybe later in life you say, oh, that's what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. So it was a very special, different time. And here's wanting me to sound like an old man again. I know what the boomers say, right, is that, everybody's special, participation trophies, right? You were not special back then. I think this is just my take. Your specialness today and now, both then and now, comes from your ability to realize your specialness, right? So I'm going to expand on this a little bit, and what Chief Little Priest went through. So back then, people had a lot more kids than they did now. And so there wasn't time to just focus on one kid. You're not going to be spoiled, right?
No favorites.
Yeah. I heard they would never, when they disciplined kids, when kids mouthed off or they didn't want food, one of the places I've heard, although not all of them, said they never hit kids. But what they would do is if you mouthed off, maybe they'd dump water on you. And, you might forget mom kind of snapping at you for a second when you're doing something wrong these days, but you're not going to forget the day that you were soaked the whole day when you didn't want to eat what was given to you, right? So kids were disciplined in a different way.
Would have been squash for me. What would it have been for you? My mom probably watching, and she probably...
No, I'm just playing.
Oh my. No. But what was the food that you didn't eat that you
I
couldn't
did
stand?
not like. And to this day, I don't like onions.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
No comment.
I don't think they had onions back then.
My brother always says to grow up, and my taste buds are very childish.
Yeah.
Man, I love onion rings. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it, but it was squash for me. I couldn't do it. My
squash
dad.
Is okay. I like squash.
That night we had squash.
Brussels
I
sprouts.
was trying to figure out a way to get out of it and stuff, but they always said, eat what's on your plate. Don't take as much as you need, and make sure you clean your plate, because there's people out there that are starving.
Yep.
So I would be there past, everybody would leave the table, dishes would be done, and I'd still be sitting there.
That's the same for me with it's chicken noodle soup, and I was like, why do you put onions in chicken noodle soup? But anyways, there was onions in it, or I don't know if it was chicken noodle soup, but it was some kind of soup that had onions in it, and I did not want to eat it, but I couldn't get up till I was done, and I just sat there until I went to sleep. And when I woke up, it was still there.
But yeah, punishments and stuff.
So it was different. Like you're not really. What I've heard, and I shouldn't say you weren't spoiled, but really, depending on what relative you're interacting with, you're getting a different treatment. Some are really strict. Dig is more about strictness, and maybe your biological parents are more kind of spoiling you. But not everybody. You're not just the center of attention, right?
Yeah.
You realize you're part of something that's a lot bigger. And living in a village too, there's all these other kids, right? And right around the age of 12 is when he, more likely than not, would have been strongly encouraged to go fasting. You go, as Felix White put it, and I was just listening to this, you go fasting to see why you were born as a human. It's like, wow, that's big. These days we talk, I'm going to go find my purpose. But what does that even mean, right? So he was looking to find out why out of all the times he could be born in and all the things he could have been born as, right? Think about how many people there are in the world now. What is it, like 8 billion, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
8 billion? How many bugs do you think there are? Trillions.
There's 13,568.
Is that going to be on the trivia? Do I need to know that one?
No, it's fine.
But so think about all the living things right now, and think about how long Earth has been around and how many people have lived in the past and how many things have lived in the past. But he was looking for why he had been born at that time as a person, as a Ho-Chunk man. And that's what he was looking for. And he would, back then, every kid was kind of pushed to go in fast, right? But he would keep doing it. And, the real way to do it was you keep fasting until you find that purpose, right? So he would fast and fast and fast and fast. And some people think that, and they would do this for 4 days, right? Without food or water. Ooh. So that's, back then the bodies were just tougher back then, but even then you're really pushing it close, right?
Yeah.
And you don't care you don't care about onions anymore back then, right? And when you do it intentionally, you're not, I'm so hungry all day. That's not what you're thinking about. So you're going to be discovering parts of yourself and the world. Even if you don't believe in any religion or spirituality, there's going to be some stuff going on. And some people think that's the reason why his name was Little Priest, is that he was this little guy who was always fasting and was pushing it really hard. Eventually, according to Felix White, he found that purpose, and that was he was a bringer of peace. And so that kind of ended fasting for him. He was, I've heard that he was picked out to be a medicine man pretty early because he was going through this stuff. What's my purpose, right? Early. But then he actually kind of got moved over to more of a political military position as a chief, because the Ho-Chunks were really upset with they were blaming the chiefs for signing the treaties, right? Because they'd be the ones to go to Washington, and then they'd get upset when they couldn't stop the treaties, right? So they would say, okay, these chiefs got to go.
Yeah.
So apparently he was pushed into a chief position, moved into a chief position pretty early to replace these other guys who were just getting tossed out. And again, those guys getting tossed out wasn't necessarily their fault, but it's really just the Ho-Chunks were just mad. And this is, they'd tried fighting with the government before and it didn't work. So they just directed their anger at the chiefs, and then they got tossed out. Little Priest was actually, as a teenager, his name is on one of the treaties in the I think it's mid-19th century, so really 1840s, I think. So he was up there as a leader. And he lived through the removals out of Wisconsin and into Iowa and into Minnesota. And Little Priest, there's one account when the Ho-Chunks were in Iowa. They were friends with one of the first white guys who moved into that area of Iowa, and Little Priest had a meeting with the Potawatomis there, and they were all kind of getting together and discussing, what do we do with reservations and change and whatnot?
Yeah.
How do we deal with this? If you know your history, after the Ho-Chunks were in Iowa, they were moved into northern Minnesota and then south of Mankato. And during the Dakota War in 1862, and I'm not going to go into all the history, but if you just Google that, you'll get the results. During the Dakota War, when the Ho-Chunks were living south of Mankato, the Dakota people fought against the U.S. government because they were starving and they were trying to get their land back. And some Ho-Chunks, very small amount, not the whole tribe, got involved. And Little Priest apparently was one of the people who got involved and tried to help out the Dakotas and fight the government and the Minnesota settlers. But they realized pretty quickly, like, we're not winning this one, and they left. But apparently Little Priest and a number of other Ho-Chunk warriors were imprisoned. Mm-hmm. And eventually Little Priest is released, and the tribe is moved to Crow Creek, South Dakota, which is, disaster, right? People are dying left, right.
There's stories about that.
Yeah, it's just a very traumatic, nasty time where the government is so corrupt that it's not providing food, or they would put it in troughs, and they would just completely subhuman treatment to the Ho-Chunks by the government and the federal officials, and in a landscape that was
based on the description of that, do you think like equivalent to like the Holocaust?
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And
then like the reservation system, you know what I mean? They wouldn't let you off, you know what I mean? So this is kind of interesting. Hey Ben, quick thing here.
Sure.
Part 2
of
this discussion. You think we can have that next week?
Sure, absolutely,
Or I got you. If those that are interested, better yet, come up and see you, right?
Yeah, come up and see me.
Because it is Chief Little Priest Week, and we want to make sure that we get his story. So we kind of left off
because
with
there's
the
a big
Crow
part.
Creek.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of see where we land down here in Winnebago, Nebraska. But I think that is I love the discussion and stuff, but I know that we have
limited time.
Some limited time here and stuff and whatnot. So any shout outs or anything like that you want to make mention? And then part 2 to be continued. This is like the commercial break, you know what I mean? Like where this is like, you know, we're in Crow Creek.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait till next week's episode. I never wanted to do that to my viewers, but we're going to have to do that.
Cliffhanger. Yeah. Shout out to Manoj and all the Little Priest staff who were at the Harvest Celebration powwow. That was awesome. It was great seeing them all. Ho-Chunk Renaissance too. Thanks, Blue, for donated all those cool blankets that people loved.
I got a bone to pick with you, though.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, so that basket. Oh, my goodness. That basket was freaking awesome. That was donated by Ho-Chunk Renaissance, right?
Yeah.
We want to thank their staff for everything that they did, and then the door prizes. You made probably that was probably the prize of the year right there, that Ho-Chunk basket. Beautiful art. Whoever the artist was done on that. I was eyeing it. Man, I wish I would have had that one. Myself, you know what I mean? But
get on the mic and say, "This one's for me."
You guys can look, but I'm taking this.
Right. It's like, come on, it's my birthday next week. No, but anyways, congratulations to our Powwow Princesses.
Yes.
Everybody at the Harvest Celebration.
Yes, always awesome.
And thank you, Ben, for coming on up. So we're gonna change directions here. Ben, you're gonna have to help us out. Maybe you know the answers to these questions, or we're gonna get into the answer is. You're kind of on a losing streak here, girl.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So have you been paying attention to
always
the most important event that takes place, football? Have you been paying attention to that?
A little bit.
All right. You have? Okay. So some of the questions probably not going to relate.
5%.
But I didn't have time to print it here, but I do have some questions for you as we listen to, this is a Little Priest song. All right. So let's see here. Let me make sure my sound effects here. We got to get for those people that are going to play along. Maybe you know the answer, and we're going to get into our first question. Maybe. Okay, let's see here. Let me try.
Gooby dooby doo. I don't know why I have to sing and then it'll pop in my head. So these guys always hear me up and down the hallway. I was singing that Scooby-Doo theme song.
Scooby-Doo, huh?
Hey, if it's
we
Scooby-Doo,
got some work to do.
I'm going to turn this way up today. This is gonna be dramatic.
My heart rate is increasing. Yeah. That's my heart. No.
Okay. Gaga, Queen Elizabeth got away. She passed away, right? Mm-hmm. And what's his name? Charles. Who's gonna be the next king? It's King Charles, I believe. I haven't really paid attention, but it's all over the news media. Here's a question I want to ask you: who is the Duchess of Sussex?
That is Meghan Markle.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Is the answer as quickly as you can?
No. 1 second. Here, we're actually going to have you be the referee. Can you write her answer down?
Sure.
And Jordana is going to take her on. All right?
All right.
So question number 2. So for those folks, it's my birthday week. Usually we head out and go to Vegas, Las Vegas. And you went to Vegas.
Yep.
How did you like it?
I loved it.
One of the main kind of hotels and stuff is Caesar's Palace. Mm-hmm. You ever been there?
We went there when I was 19, but me and Mackie didn't go there this time.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. We stayed there a couple times. Very nice. Anyways, my birthday's on Friday, so I'll be down at Caesar Palace. Here's the question, and it's off of Hangover. He asked, does Caesar actually stay here? But here's the actual question for Winnebago Talks. Julio Caesar, where is he from?
He is from... I'm going to say Spain.
Spain?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. It's homecoming week for Winnebago Public School. What is this year's theme?
It is... I think it's like a day in the stars or something like that.
Ooh. A day in the stars?
Yeah.
You sure?
No, wait.
Day in the stars?
It's like something.
One day in the stars. Yes.
Dang, I was just looking at that flyer.
Sounds like a weekend song.
I know.
A day in the stars.
It's something with the stars. I know that. I'm just gonna go with a day in the stars.
A day in the stars.
It's something like that. Yeah. It's like be yourself or something.
Be a star.
We're different.
Stars, be yourself. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Next
Wait.
Okay.
Can I use my lifeline?
Oh, she does get a lifeline.
Oh,
okay. For sure.
Okay, guys, gotta help me.
All right.
Someone help me with this. What is the theme for the homecoming celebration at Winnebago Public School this week?
Yeah, you can text it or you can Facebook it. Comment below. We need some help here. So
Help me.
This is phone a friend.
Help me.
Phone one of our 4,000 friends that we have on Facebook. Come to the rescue here. What is this year's Winnebago Public Schools theme? Any answers
find
yet?
it myself. No, nothing.
No, you can't go and find it yourself. It has to be.
It's called phone a friend, not
Ben,
find
do
it
you know?
yourself. I mean, no, but the fact that it had stars with it, maybe it's like dress up like a celebrity or something. I don't know.
There's something in it that a day in the stars or something like that.
Okay, Savannah commented. Are
Come
you gonna
on,
go
Savannah. Thanks, Savannah. It's out of this world.
Final answer?
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. All right. We'll see if Savannah is right. Write that down. Okay. All right. We had JR and Kuno Dave talking about the powwow this weekend. The next question I want to ask, question number 4. The last powwow that was ever held at Winnevegas, what was that powwow called?
The last powwow that was held at Winnevegas was the last Bear Moon powwow.
Final answer? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. So last time we asked you halftime, right? Halftime of the Super Bowl. Did you remember watching that halftime? Because you do
Was
trivia.
this the most recent Super Bowl?
Yeah, the most
I think
recent.
it was gone someplace. I don't think I watched the last
You didn't
Super
watch
Bowl.
it?
No.
Okay, so it was the best halftime show ever. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, all those guys. Besides Weekend coming number 2.
It's up for debate.
Oh,
Here
yeah,
at the Big
yeah.
Boys.
I heard about that.
Okay. So we asked you who played in the Super Bowl, right? And what was the answer?
It was
Just last week we just asked you.
Teams.
I know.
Yeah, they're a blue team with yellow. Do you remember who played in the Super Bowl last year, Ben?
It's not phone a friend yet. Can't
Yeah. I mean, you can say because it's not part of the question, but
it was like the Buccaneers and someone else.
that was the year before. That was the weekend.
I keep saying that.
Yeah.
It was. It was. I don't know, dude,
Who won the Super Bowl? You don't know who won the Super Bowl? The
Steelers?
Televised.
No.
Televised event in the world. I mean, everybody should be watching it. What do you do on Super Bowl night? I mean, that's just like you got to set aside Super Bowl night, right?
I probably was watching ASMR.
Oh my god. Anyways, it was the LA Rams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
you
Rams.
remember that?
Yep.
Okay, who did they play against? That is the question.
The question is, who did they play against?
Yeah.
So it was the LA Rams, and it was the. This was this past one.
Yeah.
So
2020.
it was like an underdog or something, right?
Yeah. We always pull for the underdog, right?
Yeah. It was.
Oh, okay, I know.
Yeah. See, he's a trivia guy. He knows.
It was like a real random team.
It was probably one of the 32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah, one of them.
Give me a guess.
It was the Browns.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
That laugh.
She's gonna lock in that. Man, you were so close to that one. Okay. Ben, do you mind running down there and hollering at Jordana as we're gonna discuss?
She's down the hallway?
Yeah, just
Okay.
say, hey, we're ready for you, and she'll be ready to go here. But folks, let's see if Jordana can pick up the win as we're gonna get back into some of the Little Priest music. ARL.
So I wanted to remind everybody that you could still vote for the top song of the week. So we have.
Are we getting a lot of votes?
From what I've seen,
honest.
I haven't seen anything yet.
This is the birthday week, right?
It
I
is.
mean, this is.
Be honest, he said. I'm always honest.
Because only last week, the weekend won with 2 votes.
Yeah. So it looks like right now the only comments we got is us going back and forth about the wind.
Oh man, come on.
But you can vote. So we have September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. We have Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day. What You Want by Mace. Do for Love by Tupac. And the best song ever, The Morning by The Weeknd.
I don't know about that one. You can't beat the elements, though. I mean, I'm talking about. Go ahead and check your mic there.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, you're good to go. Oh.
Guaranteed. Ooh.
There's your surprise.
I was thinking, you guys are crazy.
It's like looking in the mirror.
Yeah, no kidding. I was like, what in the world is that? All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yep, ready.
Okay. We have part 2 of Little Priest discussion coming next week.
Okay.
And we also have the trivia here. So we are going to get into it. She did pretty good.
All right.
I can't get out of those faces. You guys are crazy.
Okay, just trying to use the wrong mouse here. All right.
Okay. Scared. It's coming throat.
So Gaga, Queen Elizabeth, you know, it's her funeral. I think that the 19th or something. So we're kind of going to go overseas, across the pond, they would say, and ask you this question here. Who is the Duchess of Sussex?
Jeez. It's that girl, that lady that married that Prince William. I just don't know her name.
Okay, I know there's 2 princesses, or prince, I should say. Okay, so there's Harry and there's William, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So you follow up?
A little bit.
I
like the Duchess.
Do you?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. The only princess name, I don't know. I would just say something with a V because it sounds more elegant.
Victoria or something like that?
I was
or
going to say Veronica or something.
Veronica. Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, the correct answer is, Ben, who is it?
Meghan Markle. Right?
That is correct. Yeah, American. She headed over there and she's the Duchess of... I don't know what that means.
So
I don't either,
it's a
but-
city, I think, or an
Is it?
area.
Is it?
So it's like you're the county commissioner
Like a
or like a
province?
city councilor. It's like a position.
I mean, I know
Like a
that
political
she's the longest reign, Queen Elizabeth, longest reigning and stuff like that. But it's on the news, and I'm like, okay, you know, it's a little too much. You know what I mean? But it's history in the making. You know, if you have an opportunity, we probably won't in our lifetime. I don't know if we're gonna witness another queen passing away like that, but. They said that she planned the whole thing, right? I mean, what was she, 94, 96 or
How did
something?
she live that long?
She was old.
Yeah.
She served in World War II.
Did she really?
Yep. She was a mechanic.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I did see this article I was reading, and then she has a will that is so extensive that she has people that are going to care for like all her pets or something like that, like, and how to care for them and stuff.
They did talk about that. I guess she has some dogs or something
Yeah.
like that.
Corgis, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
corgis,
corgis,
and
yep.
that's a very important task or something like that. You know what I mean? But
those are her babies.
anyways,
Anywho.
okay. So
She's an alien. One's a reptilian.
Anyways.
I know that Vegas, you've been to Vegas before. Bethany's been to Vegas. I usually try to go there. So I'll tell you a little story here. Here's my story. So I told my old lady I'm not going to get married until I'm 30. So I turned 30, and then on September 17th, we get married. One day turning 30. So there's September 16th, which is the Winnebago Big Voices national holiday because it's my birthday. And then September 17th is my anniversary, right? So it'll be 11 years.
Can't miss it.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, so I'll never forget my anniversary, right? Because it's right after my birthday. We stayed at Caesar's Palace. You ever stay there?
Not at Caesar's. No, I've been there. Love
Yeah,
it.
I mean it's nice, right?
Yep.
I mean it's been in movies, it's been in Sopranos. I mean they just recently did anything anyway. So on Hangover, the guy asked, he said, does Caesar stay here and stuff? But I want to ask this question. Question number 2. Julio Caesar is from where? That's the question.
I would say Rome, Italy. No, it's Greece.
He's from Greece?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Great movie.
Ben.
Okay, so I actually don't know this one, but she said Spain.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
The final answer. So you got Siri?
You don't want to give it to me.
What?
You got Siri?
Yeah. I mean, I got a phone.
Okay, so put Siri up there.
All right.
Siri knows
You
it
don't know
all.
that? You don't have this written down someplace?
Yeah, I do, but I want Siri to join us as a guest here today.
I don't use the voice thing. Okay.
Does anybody
Silence.
Anybody
Silence.
have?
Let's
Okay,
see.
so
it's Julio Caesar?
Caesar, yeah. Where's Caesar from? The guy. He's not
He
from
said,
Vegas.
he said, I know you get this question a lot, but
Let's see.
Julio
Caesar?
Yep. Go ahead and read that.
The football player?
No, Caesar from
Ben's on
Caesar
a roll
Palace.
today.
I know.
Oh, is that
Julius, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Julio.
Wait, Julius Caesar? Okay, 'cause
Yeah, Julius.
Julio is not a...
My bad.
I mean, I know the answer now. I was wondering who Julio is. All right, I know...
We went with it. Everybody was going with it this whole time.
You want the answer. Okay.
Julius.
Yeah, he's a Roman guy. Julius Caesar. He's from Rome. So you
yeah,
had to
yeah,
write it
yeah.
right first.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got
Rome. Julio Caesar. I was like,
I didn't even catch it either. I was
Hugo
like,
Chavez?
Hold up.
All right. Ooh. All right.
Okay, next question.
then we all just went with it.
I even got it written down, Julius. So where did Julio come from?
I don't know.
Homeboy Julio.
Giving names up.
Okay, question number 3. What is this year's theme for the Winnebago homecoming that's taking place this week?
Man,
The theme.
No. What the heck?
Remember we kind of talked about it, and it was like, hey, we got a lot of events coming up. You know, there's a bonfire that happened last night. Tonight is, I think Wednesday's coordination,
Yep,
right?
Wednesday is,
It's
and I believe
Hawaiian,
it's
right?
The overall theme. I know they have their days, you know, like Friday, make sure everybody wears their blue. And there's a game, what time?
the game is at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. There's a game on Thursday for volleyball.
Yep.
At 5?
I
6?
believe at 5:30.
5:30? Oh, or
No,
no.
the volleyball game's tonight at
Okay.
5:15.
My bad.
Yeah, my bad too.
The overall theme for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know luau. I just know something about Hawaiian Day. I'm just gonna say luau.
Okay. Good. It is actually, the theme is out of this world.
Hey.
Yeah.
I only got it, girl, because I used my lifeline.
All right. So the score is what now, Ben?
2-0.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Okay. So the last powwow that was at Winnebago's, we had Kunu Dave and JR. They're talking about this powwow that's coming up on September 16th in honor of my birthday and also mental health awareness. No, I'm just playing. But it is for mental health awareness. Anyways, what was the last powwow that was held at Winnebago's? What was that called?
I believe it was the Bear Moon powwow.
Okay. So final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, she got it.
Yes.
Yeah, last Bear Moon powwow.
Gonna accept Bear Moon powwow,
Yeah.
huh? Last,
So
not the
basically,
first
it's just saying it's the February powwow because first Bear Moon is January, last Bear Moon is February. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? In the Winnebago calendar. So we should probably just go back to calling it February powwow. Anyways,
So that was right?
yep,
Yeah,
you got
so
it right.
one
All right,
point.
I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, we could have a tie here if she gets this one.
Yeah.
She might get it too. It's a good question. All right, so you remember last week we talked about who played in the Super Bowl. Do you remember who played in the Super Bowl? And who won the Super Bowl, I should say. Who won this last year's Super Bowl?
Last year's or?
Yeah, last year's where they had the best halftime show, beat the weekend by far. Everybody gave grave reviews about the halftime show.
Oh.
And it was a good game, you know what I mean? But it was the LA Rams. They won last year's Super Bowl, right? That is right, you know. So
You don't sound so sure.
yeah. So LA Rams, they came away, they made it. Here's the question though for a tie, Jordana. Who'd they play against?
Okay. It's the one from last year, and the Super Bowl performance was the old school
Yeah.
The rap one.
But who was?
I'm gonna say the Oakland Raiders.
Final answer.
Yeah.
That answer is.
Is it the Chiefs?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You
Well, I
would
don't know
have guessed
either.
the Chiefs?
Yeah.
It was the Bengals.
Oh.
I was so close.
You was
Okay.
so close. Yeah, same color and
Alright.
everything. Bengals
Dang
took away.
it.
Sorry,
Oh, where'd this
Jordana.
fly come from?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
We have a new friend in here, guys.
Julio.
Anyway, yeah, Julio.
Julio. That's that flies.
There is a football player, European football player named Julio Caesar. So.
Oh, okay. So
I think it
Caesar
was from
Palace
Spain,
on the
too.
agenda.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Shout outs.
Like I said, everybody who came to the Harvest
Oh, yeah, you
Celebration
did your shout
powwow.
outs.
Yeah,
for sure. Shout outs, Jordana.
No, I don't really have many shout outs, but just I hope everybody has a good day. It's a really beautiful day out. The sun's out. There's hardly any clouds, and the breeze is really nice. So if you have a chance, go take a quick 15 to 30-minute walk break. It'll get you realigned.
Yeah.
with
That
your
is a
energy.
good, definitely. Part 2 of the enrollment article, is that coming out?
Yeah.
This one or next one?
This one, the blood quantum enrollment topic. This will be the part 2 that will be coming out this weekend, and we'll also have a story from the WIC program.
Nice. So tonight we have a volleyball game. It is going to be against Ponca, and it will be in the new gym here in Winnebago, and we'll be live streaming on the Winnebago Public School YouTube page. And then Thursday we have All Requests Live. That's at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then Friday we have the homecoming game at, I want to make sure we get this right, 2 p.m. And that's against Todd County.
It's going to be a good game.
Yes.
You know, they've been rolling over the teams here lately and stuff, but Todd County, I think last year they had some problems with them. You know what I mean? So we need a lot of people to come out and support them. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be about, but those 2 p.m. games, oh man, they are freaking hot. You know what I mean? So hopefully this one will be a good game. So
And-
go ahead.
Well, I just also want to make mention too, on Saturday there's going to be a tournament in the new gym for the Lady Indians volleyball team as well. So that I
So
think
come
it
check
starts
out
at
the
9.
tournament and then go out to the powwow.
Yep, and then the powwow's on Saturday as well.
All right. And
Eventful
then
days.
Friday, come see me in Vegas. I'll be out there for my birthday or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, with Julio.
End it with his mask.
All right, Winnebago Talks. Make sure you join us for ARL. You are listening to the Big Voice 100.9 FM, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe. You folks have a good rest of your day. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.